Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Smash Fresh. So for today's video, I am really excited to be doing this because I finally got in the mail my Jaclyn Hill highlighting products. I am super excited to try these out on camera today and show them to you guys. I have a lot of things to say about it. I actually did something on Instagram where I asked you guys to ask me a couple questions. So this review will be kind of split up into a couple things. So I'm gonna be covering obviously how it applies on the skin. So more of a try on style. I'm also going to be answering questions that you guys have asked me, and I'm also going to be telling you guys a couple of dupes that I think are worth mentioning. Also, I am really sorry if this video is super long. I feel like there is a lot to say and I'm trying to be as thorough and detailed as possible. So if this is a video that you are interested in, then just keep watching, and without further ado, let's get to it. First thing that I'm gonna do is start off with what I bought. So the very first and obvious thing would be one of the accent highlighting palettes. That's what I think it's called, right? These are the accent light highlighters. The reason why I actually don't know is because it doesn't come in the box, which is kind of odd, right? But I guess as long as it's disclosed somewhere, it's fine. And as long as it has the ingredients and all of that good stuff, which it does have in the back of the box. I actually ended up getting the flare color, not the flash color. And I am really upset about that. I kind of have like a little story. Basically, I was there like minutes before like the whole launch happened. And actually 2 minutes before the launch, apparently like things just went live. And I happened to be there. So I'm here thinking like, okay, I was one of the first people there. So I'm like, okay, great. Let me add all this stuff in my cart, whatever. As I'm checking out, I'm putting in my information. Then I click next and then it says, oh, your cart has been updated and the flash palettes are now sold out. And in my head, I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And then I know a lot of people got the one with the brush, but that wasn't placed anywhere on the website while I was there. That bundle wasn't available at that time when I was looking. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just check out, do what I gotta do before I end up losing this stuff too. And then that was, yeah, the rest is history. First initial thought that I have to say about this is that this looks very pretty. It looks very clean, luxurious. It's not like extremely heavy, but it does have like some weight to it. I think this is gorgeous, and this is something that I can see sitting there pretty and makes you kind of like want to use it and feel like, you know, all bougie. So when you open it, whoa, it looks like this. It looks really like nice and baked. It has like a really nice shimmer look to it. It has a really great mirror here as well. Initially when I look at this, it reminds me a lot of, as far as like the formulation goes, it reminds me a lot of the Hourglass ambient lights. I know the consistencies of both are very different. This is kind of more of like a finishing powder. Meanwhile, these are actually like highlighters, and I actually want to use this for my eyeshadows as well. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna come out. I don't see any hairs, guys. No, I'm kidding. Let me not go there. But no, but seriously, like I know some people might be asking that. I really don't see anything, and I think this is beautifully packaged. You can obviously tell that they put some work into this one, and it looks beautiful. So I can't wait to try that one out. The next item that I got was the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light highlighters. Again, this isn't actually on the box as well. On the box it just says luminous powders, that's it. This is in the color Carrots. I tried doing like some research before like the whole launch, and this kind of looked like an overall like face powder, so I wanted to get something that was a little bit more of my tone. It is a 0.35 ounce and it's a nice luminous powder, so I'm really curious to see how this is gonna look like. My skin is a little bit more on the dry side. And then the last one that I'm really actually super excited to be trying out is the Beaming Light highlighters, and I got this in the color Balm. This one has 0.14 ounce. So first thing I'm gonna do is start off with my eyes. I haven't seen like that many videos out there, but I don't think I've seen anybody use this as an eyeshadow yet, at least like with the deeper toned highlight palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this on my eyes, and I think I want to try the beaming highlight like right on my eyelid. Maybe I could do my whole cut crease thing going on. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer, and first thing I'm gonna do is make sure my eye is nice and primed. so I just prepped my eye with some concealer. So the first color that I'm gonna go in is with that color Made You Look. And I know not everyone's gonna like the idea of me putting a shimmer on my crease area, but I kind of just want to try it out, see how this will look out. So I'm just gonna apply it all over here. I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm gonna go right over this with the color Turned On. It's like that really nice pinky color. And oh, this is actually pretty pigmented. It's actually really pretty. There's very slight fallout, but this obviously isn't meant for an eyeshadow. Yeah, I think that's actually really like a really cute color. So I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush and I'm gonna go into that color Exposure. It's like that deeper brown tone. See how that looks like. It's funny because it's like highlighting the crap out of my eye right now. And clearly I'm just trying to test this out, but I actually think this looks pretty. I am still gonna have to go in though with an eyeshadow. Yeah, this is very cute. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease because I actually wanna use the beaming highlight right on my eyelid. Let's just see how that comes out. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go in with my beaming highlight. This is again in the color Balm. I'm just putting a little bit on the cap. I'm just gonna lightly press all over my lid. Ooh, that looks very pretty. Yeah, that is beautiful. I'm just gonna blend out my edges here. Let me use one of these other brushes. I'm curious, how would this look like if I were to wet it? So let me go ahead and spray my brush. Actually, let me spray my smaller brush. Yeah, that looks super pretty. It's not like extra blinding, but it looks really nice and pigmented. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead, add my liner, my lashes, and finish off this other eye, and I will be right back. I actually really love the way this looks like. This is actually really similar to my video that I uploaded about like 2 days ago. The next thing that I have to do is do my foundation. One of the reasons that I didn't actually do my foundation and then do my eyes, like all of that, was because I hear that the Mood Light highlighting powder can be used as a nice setting powder or something like that. I don't know exactly, so I want to put that to the test, at least use half of my face with this and then the other half without it. Maybe we could see some kind of differences. Okay, so I already did my foundation. I did my concealer as well. All I have to do is set my under eyes real quick. I'm kind of like curious to see how it would be like to set my under eyes with the Mood Light, but I'm not gonna do that because I think that's just gonna be like a recipe for disaster. So I'm going in with my Cover FX and I am just gonna lightly set like right up here. So I'm not gonna go too down below. I am gonna do a half and half type of thing going on. So I'm gonna be using my regular setting powder on this side, and then I'm gonna be using the Mood Light luminous powder on this side. Let's see what the differences are. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a regular brush and just go all over. All right, and now I'm gonna dip into my Mood Light. Again, this is in the color Carrots. I'm gonna try to put some down below there. I'm like really curious to see how this is gonna come out. I don't know if I'm applying too much, but I just like dipped right in there. Ooh. It it's like so slight. It looks like it's a tiny bit of like shimmer on the face, but it doesn't look like it's really highlighting. I can understand why people have a little bit of difficulty now explaining it, but it's almost like, I guess you can like slightly compare the finish of it in a sense to the Hourglass Ambient Light. Basically, when you use this product and you put it on top of everything, it gives you like a really nice filtered type of look. This is kind of like a little bit more of an intense version of that, and it gives it like a really nice dewy, I don't know, just like a nice luminous look on the cheek area. I think this is really pretty. The only thing I will say is that it does accentuate a little bit of my texture, but I think that's like normal. Usually if I were to put like a highlight over a pimple or like a little bits of breakouts, obviously that's gonna show up a little bit more on your skin, especially since now you are highlighting it and accentuating it. So what I want to do is now dip into this. I'm all over the place with this video, so let me just go ahead and finish the under eye part of my eye. I'm realizing that highlight for me is usually the very last thing that I do with my makeup. So I'm like, wait, I'm missing my contour a little bit. I'm missing some blush. So what I'm gonna do right now is I wanna try out this highlight. I have been dying to try out to see like how this is gonna look on my cheek. I'm gonna use this cheek right here to kind of play with that color, see how it looks like. This is the color called Glow Up. This is the lightest color in the Flare palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my brush. It's so funny, I've actually had this brush for a really long time and I used to use it for highlight and then I kind of just stopped. So I might as well just try it out with this, see if it does anything, but I'm gonna apply this right here. Oh yeah, it's really pretty. I'm just adding little bits more and more. And yeah, obviously the more I add, like the more really pretty and blinding it is. Let me try to go cover myself up a little bit. That makes sense, but look at how pretty that looks like. Let me go from far and maybe you could see it. I think this looks really pretty, and it's crazy because I can keep adding more and more. See what happens if I add like a tiny bit more. So gorgeous. I think initially when I first started applying it, I was like, this is a little underwhelming, but now it's like, oh, I see you, there you are. Honestly, this highlight though, I feel like it's kind of a normal highlight, to be honest, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think this is definitely more for like an everyday person, and then if you still want to achieve a little bit more of like a blinding highlight, but just not as much, you can definitely get that with this palette. But this looks so pretty, and now that I'm seeing it from far too, it's like, oh, don't mind me, I'm gonna be going like this a lot. Now let's go to the beaming light. I think out of everything, this is the one that I was like really excited about, because to be honest, I am not one to like wear that much highlight anymore. In fact, there's actually been days where I go out of the house like wearing a full face of makeup and not wearing any highlight. Not for any reason, but I kind of just been like really liking just a regular matte look. But when I do wear highlight, I want it to like really stand out. So I'm gonna be using the same brush again. I think this might be a little bit too intense, but I'm gonna start off with a really tiny bit and then do one swatch and show you guys how that looks like. There you go, just a little bit. And I'm gonna go like that. Ooh, look at that. And now let's just blend it out because it was just very streaky. Wow, I'm just trying to position it in the right places, but I haven't added anything extra on this brush. This one is definitely really intense. I want to add a little bit more, but I want to use a different brush because I feel like, although it's good, but I feel like I can manipulate it a little bit better with a different brush. So I'm usually used to using a brush more like this. I've even used this one a lot. I'm gonna go in and see like how intense this can get. There you go. What? I feel like I'm just putting like a pigment straight on my face or something, I don't know, but wow. Now I think this is obviously too much, but I actually low-key like really like this. Damn, like, no, seriously though, this is really pretty. Like, I thought this was getting intense. No. This is intense. I can only imagine what that first color would look like. So let me add this a little bit high up here, high up here. Maybe I can turn off the lights and show you guys both looks. Okay, so I turned off my main light. I kind of just put it up on the side. But maybe now you can like really see how intense this goes. Yeah, here I look like I'm wet. I look like I'm sweating here. And I know it looks so much, but I kind of like this, you know? I don't think I would go out like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if I was having like a night out, but I would definitely do this for like, you know, taking pictures and going out and stuff like that. My husband would probably be like, you are wearing way too much highlighter. So how do you like my highlights?
You look gold.
Do you like gold?
It looks nice. Do you have one side different from the other? Okay.
Do you have a preference with one?
I like that side better.
Why is that?
It's not so out there.
So crazy. Here, you can fix this light back so you can really see how it looks like.
The one on your right is really shiny.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
really
this one,
compared to your left.
this one's like extra. Shadow, can you please stop with your toy? Oh my god. So this one was supposed to be called like the high beaming light, and this was supposed to be like the extra. This one was the palette, which I think is a little bit more normal, but it's still a lot if you like start looking at it. But this one, I like it for maybe like pictures, but at the same time, I feel like I look like a glazed donut. You know what I'm saying? I look a little...
You're looking like a snack.
Snacky.
You're looking like a glazed donut.
Thanks. You guys let me know what you think. I tried to like put the light on the side, that way you guys can like see what like the actual lighting looks like. I'm gonna blend this out while he's talking. Oh, but look how much that calmed down a little bit, right?
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah. This is actually nice like that.
Also, what you're saying is you're not a good makeup artist.
What?
You can't blend.
I'm saying I was trying to show them how intense this was. I did blend it. Okay guys, so I have all three of them on. I think they are all very, very beautiful. So the next portion that I kind of want to like cover in this review is I did have a couple questions. I kind of like narrowed them down. That way I'm not like repeating questions or anything like that. So how would you use the two different highlight powders on brides / clients? When it comes to brides, I think that I feel like brides are looking for more like a nice overall glow. So I personally think that the mood light would be really, really nice for brides. I think when it comes to a more glam bride, you can do this one. You can definitely even do the beaming highlight. I'm gonna say high beam, I don't know why, but the beaming highlight. If you're gonna use this one, I think you should definitely like lower them in little by little. If they're all about highlight and they're like, I want that stuff blinding me, go ahead and use the beaming light highlighter. But other than that, if you're looking for just like kind of like a normal highlighter, I think this one's really good. Someone's like, woot woot, can't wait. I have combo skin. Would the powder work or best for dry skin? I personally honestly think that the mood light isn't the absolute best for dry skin, only because dry skin tends to have sometimes like little patches of dryness here and there, and I do think that this accentuated it a little bit for me, and I was kind of like on edge, but I did manage to fix it by honestly just putting on some setting spray and then just dabbing my sponge all over. But I think ideally this would work better for more like normal or a combination skin. I think if you're more on the oily side, this might be a little bit too glazy for you, if that makes sense. I find that most of the time people that have oily skin kind of want to matte themselves, so it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for more of a matte finish, I would just accentuate the highlight on the cheeks. So I would either go with the accent highlighters or the beaming highlighters, so either one of these two. Which one is your favorite? Okay, so I think my favorite personally would definitely be the beaming highlight, only because I feel like I can achieve so much with this. I did my eyeshadow with this. I really like the intensity of my eyeshadow, like the color on my lid. I did my highlight with this, and I also was able to make it very, very bright But I was also able to kind of calm it down. As you can see it right here, it's not like as crazy intense as it was before. I think this is like the more well-rounded highlighting powder for me out of the entire collection, but that's just my opinion. Someone said, girl, what do I need? So again, this kind of like totally depends on you. So how do I break this down? I'm gonna talk a little bit really quick on each product, and maybe that'll kind of help you guys make your own decision if you're only looking to buy one or multiple or however it is. But I actually really like the Mood Light. If my skin was a little bit less textury, I think that it would look 100% gorgeous without me having to use any fixtures. I feel like this is definitely more for the kind of person that wants like a very light and subtle highlight and is a little bit more focused on how your skin looks. Not just like your cheeks area, but just like how soft, how filter type, like just, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like this is more of like a skin girl kind of highlight. So pretty. This is definitely more of like your everyday. I feel like everyone can use this one, especially with all the colors that are in there. This one specifically, I actually love that I was able to do my eyes with this. I think even if I didn't add that dark color in there, this would still look very pretty on the eyes. I do appreciate that there is a bunch of levels of highlight colors in there, so a little bit for each and every season. I feel like this is definitely more of like your traditional highlighter that you're used to. So if you're just in the market for a highlighter at all, I think this is what you're looking for. And then if you're kind of looking for something a little bit more different, I want to see some change, I want to see something like really intense, girl, like then this one's it. Personally for me, I think this is like the one to go for, and it's like your all-in-one type of highlight. Any dupes that come to mind? Okay, so this brings me to my next portion of this review. I have found a couple of highlighters that I think are perfect dupes for this, but you can obviously decide that on your own. When it comes to the accent highlight palette, I have found two of them that pretty much match equally as far as like color goes to the Glow Up color. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it on my hand. So that is the color Glow Up just on its own. Super pretty. I think it's a really nice, just traditional champagne type of color on the cheek. The high-end kind of version of this highlight, I would definitely have to say, is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. I think if anything, this one is actually a little bit more intense. Maybe not intense, but I think the color is just a little bit brighter. So I think maybe in the flash palette might match up to it almost exactly, but this one is like pretty close to here. And I'm gonna show you guys a close-up too, but pretty spot on to it. Like if you feel like you want one of them, but you don't wanna have the entire palette, then I think this is a really good option. And then I found a drugstore version. Surprise, surprise. The drugstore version of this Glow Up color, or even just like the formulation, I feel, would be the Wet n Wild Highlighting Powder Mega Glow. This one is in the color Precious Petals. It's definitely more of like the champagne-y color. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this right here next to it. And that is how that looks like. They look identical, completely identical, at least in my head, you know. I wouldn't know as far as like how long it'll last on your face or anything like that, but color-wise goes, and even just like the texture of it, they look really similar. The next product that I want to talk about with the dupes is the Mood Light highlighter. Now this one, I feel like out of everything was a little bit harder to find because I feel like the formulation on this is so unique, and it's really not something that is super out there in the makeup world. But I think I found two things that are really similar to it, or at least as close as I was able to find. If you know of anything, let me know, because obviously I haven't tried every single thing. So this is how the Mood Light highlight looks like in the color Carrot. The idea of this powder is basically that it's supposed to be a very lightweight powder that you can use all over your face, and it won't leave you looking like you're wearing glitter, but it still gives you a really nice sheen to your face. So the other one that I found that kind of matches it as far as like the idea of it would be the Ulta Beauty Mineral Illuminizing Setting Powder. So this one right over here. What makes this one different though is that I think this is the only color that they come in, and it's the color called Pearl. But this one is really similar to it as far as like what the idea of it is supposed to be. If anything, this one does have a little bit more shine or like glitter to it. I think like if you're looking for something kind of like with a similar field and you're looking to spend a little bit less money, I think this one's a really good option for you. But the one that I think is like the basically spot on dupe for it, for me, is it's something obviously a little bit more high end, but this one is the Laura Mercier setting powder, but not the original setting powder. This one is the translucent loose setting powder glow. This one I think is like spot on, like the same, even almost in color as well. I'm gonna just put it right next to it. If anything, this one is a little bit lighter. They come in like just two different colors. This one, I'm telling you, even like when it comes to like the shine that's on top, and if I were to like lightly wipe, I feel like it looks exactly the same. Now, I think that the biggest difference between these two has to be sizing. At first I thought like, okay, well, they're charging $30 for this Mood Light powder, which I think honestly is a little bit more of the higher end price point. Same thing with like the other things in her collection, but if it's good, if it's worth it, then cool, right? So this one has 0.35 ounces for $32, and the Laura Mercier has 1 ounce for $39. So it kind of sucks to really point something out like this, but I feel like you are definitely getting way more of your money with this one. Although this is beautiful and I'm still so happy that I got to purchase this. I'm happy that I'm able to support an influencer rather than like a big company. But as far as like pricing, I think even if you were to buy 2 times of this, that would comes out to $64. It still doesn't add up to the same amount as there is one in here. Maybe one day like I can do like one half face with the Laura Mercier and the other half face with the Mood Light. I don't know, maybe they have different finishes. So the last product that I want to talk about is the Beaming Light highlighter and the dupes that I found for this one. This one was actually really hard for me. I haven't really played with enough loose highlighters from a drugstore, but there is one that I think is like pretty spot on to it. I'm gonna like swatch this one on my hand as well, and it looks like that, right? Super pretty and blinding. The one though that I think that is really spot on would be the Anastasia So Hollywood loose highlighter. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that as well. I haven't used this one in a really long time, so I can't even remember. But if I'm right, I did do a review video on this one, but I think in color, like this one is really similar, and even in intensity, it looks really similar to it. That is basically it as far as my dupes. I just wanna say congratulations to Jaclyn for this launch. Kudos to you, girl, for bouncing back from the craziness of the lipsticks, and I'm glad that nothing bad has like came out from this launch. I think everything looks beautiful. That is everything that I have to say. I'm hoping I'm not missing out on anything, but if you guys do have any questions at all, please let me know in the comments down below. If there's anything also that you guys would like me to review or try out in the future, please let me know that as well. And what I would like to know from you guys is if there's any dupes that you have tried or anything that you have loved from this collection, please let me know that as well. I kind of just like to hear everybody's different opinion. I've seen some people that swear by like this one, the other ones swear by this one. So I think that every person has something that they can find within this collection that they would absolutely love. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It is @smashbrush_ at the very end. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.